Hey guys, hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. Your boy is back with another subreddit video, and today I'm excited to be diving into a new subreddit with you guys. It's gonna be r/ProRevenge, and based on the subreddit, it's described as people who have stories of them or someone they know getting back at someone with pro-revenge after being wronged. So I'm excited to be reading these crazy revenge stories. I briefly glanced over some of the titles of them, and it ranges from like cheating revenge to like just silly entitlement revenge. Like I'm really excited to see what stories we get into. But real quick, if you are new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, we do daily videos. So make sure you guys stay up to date by hitting the subscribe and the notification bell. And also, if you do enjoy the content, make sure you hit the like and comment section down below. I love engaging with each and every one of you guys. And if you guys want some exclusive extended content every single day and to support the channel, I've got a Patreon set up. It's going to be the first link in the description box down below. Thank you again to everyone who's been supporting and also all the deluxe members. With that being said, let's see what's popping in this pro-revenge. So since it's our first time on this subreddit, I'm just going to go into whatever's best because I've never read any of these. And let's just see what's up. Okay, this one sounds really interesting. Title of this one says, "Cheat on your wife with mine. I will burn your life into the ground." Oh my God. I get it though. That's crazy. So two couples here involved, I'm assuming. All right, so way back in the early 2000s, I began to suspect that my wife was up to something. Our two kids were about 4 and 6 at the time, still young, but not so young that they couldn't tell you something about what had happened in their day. Oh, and the kids, like, they don't lie because they don't even know how to. Well, some kids do, but like they just are so brutally honest too. So let's see. They started talking a lot about staying with my wife's parents during the day, which wasn't really that strange in itself. But since they live about 90 minutes away, doing so 2 or 3 times a week seemed a bit much. That was basically every day she wasn't working at her part-time job, referring to his wife. When I asked her about it, she denied it. She was never really a good liar. So I started tracking the mileage on her car. Yo, that is next level PI investigation right there. And sure enough, she was driving an extra 400 or so miles per week. Dude, 400. And how many times was she leaving? Like 2-3 times? So that means she's driving 60 to 80 mile there and back each time to see this man. Well, granted, wow. I knew some was going on. Well, that's not accounting for like other errands and stuff. So I guess maybe a little less. But anyways, the story continues and says, then one day I sat down at the computer and she had left this sticky note with an AOL password written on it next to the keyboard. Yo, if you're going to do something conniving like this, you got to be better. That is so bad on her part. I mean, I'm glad that she didn't, because then we could, obviously catch her. But leaving a sticky note is crazy. Also, AOL, that's what a throwback. For those of you who are Gen Zers, AOL was this ancient relic it was like Yahoo and Google before there was Yahoo and Google. Actually, it wasn't even that. You can get AOL to even get into the internet. I mean, those of you that know what I'm saying. I was like 4 when AOL was a thing, but I do remember. All right, so anyways, I could not resist and logged in to read her emails. Okay, so that's definitely an invasion of privacy, but it's kind of valid-ish because, I mean, come on. And obviously, it was warranted because then you did find out. So I'm logged in to read her emails and saw a few email exchanges between her and a colleague, BFF, where they discussed how my wife was regularly... Damn, I got to blur this out now. So they were discussing how my wife was regularly effing or cuddling. We'll just say cuddling. One of her ex-best friends from high school. That's crazy. No mentions of details about him other than my wife also talking about his wife, making fun of how she's gotten fat after having kids. That's so fucked up. Anyways, I printed out these email exchanges and stashed them. Oh, that's good. That's some like next level stuff right there. That's smart. You're a little bit smarter than your wife, I can tell. I still needed to know the details So I called a friend who was a cop, and he suggested I call this guy that he knew that he had left the force to become a PI or a private investigator. Ron was, quote unquote, Ron, was great. I paid his retainer and gave him the emails and what little I knew about my wife's activities, and he figured out exactly what she was doing. His report detailed with pictures or photos and time, dates, locations, all about how she would take the kids to her parents and then go meet this guy for lunch. And they'd go to a dumpy motel for a few hours, after which she'd pick up the kids and return home. That's so messed up, dude. Man, if anyone has gone through like some form of cheating, I'm so sorry. But this with kids and like wives and husbands involved, this is crazy. At this point, I hired a divorce lawyer. My parents cheated on each other, and fallout absolutely effed me and my siblings' childhood. Something that I was totally unacceptable. I also asked Ron to find out what he could about this guy. Ron absolutely came through. I learned his name, that he was married and had 3 kids. Jeez, man. I also found out that he worked as a VP of sales for his father-in-law's business. At this point, I had my lawyer draw up the divorce papers. I also asked Ron for a couple more copies of his report and one more thing I wanted him to do for me. On the same day, I had my wife served with the divorce papers at her work. Dang, at her work is crazy. I get it though. I mean, I'd do something like that. That's fire. All right, I had Ron meet. Oh, so this was the thing he asked Ron to do. I had Ron meet with this guy's wife and show her everything he'd found out. She seemed nice, and I figured that she deserved to know what her dear hubby was up to. Oh yeah, man, poor wife. What she did with that information was up to her. I respect that you just kind of like left it as is, but let her know. Well, this information about my wife's infidelity, didn't really matter in my divorce proceedings. Bob's wife did a real number on him. Oh, this is where the revenge is? According to the publicly available court documents from the divorce and other related proceedings, she cleaned out their joint account, took the kids, and left. Oh man, now he's broke. As soon as her dad found out what he's done, oh yeah, he was working for her dad. Bob was fired. Or Bob, quote unquote, the guy's name. And since her parents actually owned the house where Bob and his wife lived, he also got evicted. Their divorce was ugly. Lots of fighting in and eventually out of court. And it escalated to the point that her brother had to step in and Bob got his nose broken. Oh, there was restraining orders, a few more incidents with police reports, criminal charges, jail time, and so on. Damn, jail time? This thing went to the next level. I can't find Bob on the internet anywhere nowadays. Last I heard, he'd left the state and his ex-wife is okay. She went to work at her dad's company and took over after he retired. Good for her. As for me, my ex and I got along well enough. I didn't engage with her on anything that wasn't related to the kids. And now that they're both adults, I don't really talk to her at all anymore. I don't hate her or anything, but I only care in the context that she is my kid's mom and is important to them. Nothing beyond that. That right there is so mature and responsible, because like a lot of people can hold anger, hatred, pettiness, and all these feelings towards someone who did them wrong. And although they are completely entitled to do so because of the actions that happen, to understand that like, hey, one, it's over. You saved a bunch of time and it's just time to move on. And to not hold a grudge or anything like that takes next level like skill and maturity. And you're going to be happier overall too, because like if you're just holding on to something, even if it is like completely okay to hold on to, it's just better to let go in certain situations. So I respect that. Let's read some comments. Also, look at Sora. Or no, is that Sora? No, that's Cloud. Look at Cloud sleeping. I can't even tell because they're twins. Had to pause for a moment at the mention of AOL. That takes me back. Yeah, literally me. I was reading. I was like, AOL. Good times. I still remember the noises. You'd have to like wait in a queue to get into the internet. Sorry for all this happening to you. On the other hand, well played. You checked off all the boxes and got it done. Yeah, he did what he had to do. Respect it. Yeah, and that's also, yeah, someone else said that, like, the seriously maturity in you. It takes a lot. Whoa, okay, we got a church-related one. Interesting. My ex-mother-in-law sent her church friends to mess with my daughters and I. I have now exposed her family to her church community, and she's getting shamed and stunned at church. Oh, dude, this is going to be awesome. Shame. All right, so my OP is 46, and her daughters are 17 and 15, two daughters. So they have a strained relationship with my ex-husband's parents, who are 78 and 80. My ex passed away in an accident last year, and we've had some major family drama since. Due to his cheating and him leaving, still unfortunate that he passed, like RIP, but dang, caught him cheating. What's up with this cheating filled episode, guys? All right, so we've had some major family drama due to his cheating and him leaving two boys born with his affair partnered orphaned because she also passed. What? This is crazy. Part of the drama has been my ex-in-laws trying to get custody of my daughters. What do you mean get custody? They're like 80. And them also trying to live with us. First one, we're going to court over. Second one will never happen. That's crazy. Where we live, there's a weekend market with fresh produce, eggs, meats, and other products straight from farmers. This week was extra special since it was my youngest daughter's birthday. Since her party is later in the month, I decided to give her a budget and set her loose on the market to get whatever she wanted. Mostly sweets and chocolate. I mean, valid. You're like 15 and that's what I'm gonna do. After an hour, I did start to get worried. And just before I called her, she called me. She was crying, said that some weird people had cornered her. What? So some weird people cornered her. I ran to her with my oldest daughter to find 6 older women berating my daughter for being unchristian, quote unquote, for refusing to spend time with their paternal grandparents, or for wanting to be a, quote, a good big sister to her poor orphaned baby brothers. That were like from an affair. What? Shame on them. My daughters are the ones that found out about my ex cheating and the babies. Wait, what? Your daughters are the ones that found out? That's crazy. So they aren't fond of the kids. It's trauma, and they are working with the therapist. That's good. I got between the group and my daughter, telling my eldest to go pay off the stuff with her sister and go to the car. Then I turned to the woman, some who I knew from when we went to my ex-in-law's church, and ripped them a new one. They told me I was the worst for refusing to obey my ex-in-laws like a good Christian wife. Oh, brother. Barf. Yeah, for real. That's literally how I feel. Eventually, the screaming turned too loud and we were asked to leave the market. I met with my girls in the car. The women followed me like a group of vultures. I managed to get in the car and drove away. I'm just imagining all those people like at the farmer's market just like casually like getting tomatoes, and they're just seeing like Christian people yelling at each other. Because I would just like not mind my business. I would be so nosy. I'd be like, what is going on? I'd probably be instigating it, making worse. So after my girls went to bed, I got online to talk to another member of that church and that I'm in good terms with. I told him about what happened. After he apologized, he told me that what was going on. Oh, he told you what was going on. Okay. So my ex-mother-in-law posted this massive story in the church's Facebook group about how horrible my daughters and I are, how we were leaving them homeless and penniless. What? They inherited my ex's personal bank account and his life insurance, and how my daughters, leaving the grandparents homeless and penniless. That's so silly of them. They sound like awful grandparents. And how my daughters don't even talk to them anymore. Valid. She also accused us of being the reason she lost her grandsons. The boys are now living with distant relatives of my ex-husband. Basically, it was a sob story worthy of a Hallmark movie. And of course, they were getting all the love and support from the more extremist members of their church. That's what happens when you're in a cult. Not saying that all churches are cults, by the way, because there are some really cool ones and some people I met from cool churches and temples and stuff. But some of them, when they're a little too extreme, it is very cult-like. They'll defend people in their groups to any extremes. All right, this church and its members are a bit annoying, especially with LGBTQ plus topics, but they have a small saving grace. They are incredibly strict about cheating. It's a big no-no, be it from my husband or a wife equally. Oh, be it from a husband or a wife equally. That's good. It's good that they care about something. It's crazy that they are against the LGBTQ. Like that's pretty. Granted, it's churches, man. That's the one bad thing about most religions. They're not very inclusive. Not all, but most. Now, how did she get around blaming me about affair children without exposing the cheating? She claimed that the other woman was our surrogate since I wasn't able to have more children. Wow. So the grandparents openly lied to their church just to hide the fact that it was from cheating. Oh, that's crazy. Then said I didn't want the babies because they were boys, which is absolutely disgusting to be accused of. Do not want babies just because of their sex is crazy. Well, I decided it was time to clean up this mess, and since I was mid-divorce when my ex had passed, I had all the evidence needed. And since the divorce wasn't complete, I don't have any legal ramifications for releasing all the evidence. That's dope. I was off the next day and went to a print shop to get copies of the delightful pictures of my ex cheating, his text conversations with his affair partner, and the ones with his parents confessing to his cheating and getting support from them. Wow, his parents even supported that? That's crazy. My ex-in-laws harassing me about the divorce and my coup de grace. All the emails and text messages of them bullying my daughters about their baby brothers. In one of them, calling my daughters bastards and telling them that it was their fault that their father passed since they told me about the affair and I began divorce. So your ex-in-laws are actual psychotic people. Like, what the freak? Why would they pin the blame on children and you for something that their kid did? They sound extremely entitled. This one was literally 2 days after my ex had passed. I paid extra for all of this to be printed in beautiful high quality paper. That's so awesome. Then when I got home, I sat down for hours to make delightful personalized binders. They look like little prayer song packets the church would give everyone to take to sing hymns. The first picture when opening the binder is my ex and his side woman making out in our living room. Their faces are easy to discern and the girl looks nothing like me. Different skin tones and hair color. Underneath I wrote my ex-husband's name and a fair girl's name, love story. I took them to the church before service. There's a desk in the back with the song books. Dude, this is some ProRevenge, dude. Holy crap. So she took them to the church and there's a desk in the back with the song books for people that need / forget their own. And they never check them. The gospel mill or gossip mill was quick and harsh. The names my ex and his affair partner got called in the Facebook were so bad the pastor himself had to get involved just to keep things PG-13. People were angry at my ex-in-laws for their abuse to my daughters, but what made me laugh was that I was still in the wrong for the divorce. Wow, even after all this, they still blame you. That's crazy. That's the thing, dude. Some people who interpret the Bible wrong or are extremists. And I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying I have seen it before with specifically Christianity, but also other religions too. Always pin the blame on women. It'll be like the guy doing very heinous things, and they're like, it's his wife's fault. I'm like, what? That's crazy. She just didn't please him enough, I guess. Crazy. But it is understandable that I failed on my duties after the shock. Oh, this is all in quotes, by the way. It is understandable that I failed all my duties after the shock, and I will one day return to the light, unlike my cheating husband and his Jezebel. Jezebel? Okay. That is so goofy of them to say. They use another word I can't use here. I imagine I got 2 apology letters in the mail for my girl and an invitation to join the church for support. Get the hell out of there. Please don't join. As for my ex-in-laws, they got shamed into leaving the church. My ex-mother-in-law made a post on her wall about how alienated she feels and how no one cares for the elderly anymore, and how she wished her great son were still alive since he would have known how to take care of her and her husband. With what money, I don't know, since I was the breadwinner. Oh, God. Explanation on the will. My ex-husband had a will that named his parents as beneficiaries. As far as I was aware, he had told me that he had named our daughters, not them. I never pushed for me to be the beneficiary, as my own will has my daughters as the beneficiaries, not him. Wow, that's crazy. Hitting religious, this is a comment, by the way. Hitting religious zealots with proof of hypocrisy is always hilarious. The others will immediately exile them as the public Christian image is too important. Yo, that's true, bro. Like the crazy religious people, man, they take it too far. And there's a lot of hypocrisy in major religions. It's pretty goofy. Not all, but some interpretations of it. Let's read one more good one. These are juicy. I like these. If this does well, like if it even gets like 1.5K views or something, I might do another because this is fun. But granted, a lot of times I do these new subreddits. It's very hit or miss. Like sometimes we'll find one that gets like 2,000 views or whatever, and a good amount of likes, comments, and I'm like, all right, we're sending it another. But then every now and then, like it just doesn't hit. Like the Let's Not Meet horror stories, most of them hit, and then I had a few that were just not doing well. So we'll see how this one does, but I'm enjoying it. Oh, this one sounds awesome. Oh, and it's YouTube related? Oh, we gotta get on this. All right, the title says, fired from my job, but received a year's worth of pay and got my boss fired. So this happened in the early 2010s, before the advancement of technology in video editing and content creation. I was hired as a content creator for a university that wanted to leverage YouTube to kickstart their branding campaign. The pay was low, roughly 2,200 USD, and in those days, there was not many video content creators around that, and the process usually took a long time from start to finish. Okay, so it was 2,200. Was that for the whole job? That's kind of crazy. I was hired, and on my second day, my manager presented my KPI of 85 3 to 10 minute videos in 52 weeks, which was impossible for a one-man team in those days. This meant that I had to do scripting, producing, casting talents, shooting videos, composing music. They were too cheap to pay for the royalty-free music subscriptions too, and editing, all of which I had to use my own equipment and software because of their cameras and computers were too old. You know what's crazy? Back then, people didn't really see the potential in video and like content creation, but now it's completely different. Like 2,200 now to do all of this would be unheard of. They simply couldn't handle the strain of even doing things in 720, much less 1080p. I tried to let my manager know that, but she just smiled encouragingly, telling me to give it a try, assuring me that if the videos were good, the quality would not be what she focused on. Hearing this, I agreed to give it a try. My manager treated me well in the first month. However, one day she found out I was a smoker. Her attitude changed overnight. Oh, just because you smoked? That's crazy. Her colleague had actually done a facepalm when I told her about it. And she let me know that the manager hated smokers and often advocated to get them fired. Wow, that's crazy. She started nitpicking me for everything, from smelling like cigarette smoke after a break, coming in 5 to 10 minutes late despite doing more than 4 hours of overtime daily, not being contactable during break times. The list goes on and on. But I soldiered on because I just wanted to get the job done and do it well. 5 months in, Okay, so 2,200, that had to have been like per month or something, right? Because even then, that's like really low. But anyways, 5 months in, I was called into the director's office where I saw my manager putting on her best displeased but gleeful face, and I felt my stomach drop. The director told me that she was disappointed because she had heard that I was falling behind on my work, and it was already halfway through the year, and I had only completed 30 out of my 85 videos required. 85 is a lot, guys. Holy shit. All right. I tried to explain that I had been working my butt off on these videos. I literally worked 6 days out of the week, over 60 hours just to do what needs to be done, and that a one-man army made things impossible. And also, the fact that these videos I had put up grossed the highest views ever on their YouTube page. I also recounted how my manager said that she was looking for quality videos over quantity. The director dismissed this and stated that the KPI was simply 85 videos in a year. And since it was almost half of the year in my with my numbers at least less than half, she felt it prudent to cut the quarter early. That's insane to me. I asked how would they even meet the KPI if they were to fire me now that my manager had snorted saying, "We'll find a professional production house to finish your work." Man, get the freak out of here. The director had given her an odd look, but nodded in her support nonetheless, telling me, "You don't need to worry, manager will get the job done." That was when a light bulb went off in my head. Seeing as I was the content professional in the office, one of my jobs was to keep a database of production houses to use in the event we needed to do a shoot that required my resources or more resources. And I was sure that they would be using the production houses in my database as my manager had no contacts in the production industry. Oh, I see where this is going. This is going to be good. So I changed the contact numbers and messed up all the emails on all the entries except one. The one I had a friend working as a junior director, not an assistant director, but a director assigned to smaller video projects. I gave him a call and told him the plan. And sure enough, within 2 days, they were called to come in to pitch. I told him that I had a plan that was a win-win for all of us. It would instantly help him and put him on the fast track to a director position and bringing in that much business to his production house, and it would only benefit me financially. Oh, it would also benefit me financially. I would teach him exactly how to pitch to win over my boss and the director in turn. His company would pay me a standard finder's fee of 15%. He agreed instantly and immediately put me on the line with his general manager, who, upon realizing that this was going to be 6 months of work for a high 6-digit payout, instantly agreed and drew up a contract. As it turns out, after I gave them so with this plan, he's going to make it 6 digits. Wow, that's a completely different story. For 6 months of work, okay. As it turns out, after I gave them a metaphorical step-by-step playbook, they were the perfect fit. Somehow understanding the needs and style of this university as well as the sort of themes the university wanted to feature. The director and my former boss were amazed that my friend's production house was so familiar with their content that they signed them up on the spot. Now, even back then, using a production house back was not cheap. Each video they produced could cost double to triple my monthly salary they had given. Okay, so 2,200 was a month, which is so low for how much for one-man team. So each video that they produced would cost double or triple my monthly salary they had given. That they had specialized people for each function: producer, director of photography, gaffer, sound person, etc., etc., etc. But this meant that they could complete each video a video every 2 to 3 days. So yes, they produced 50 videos in the span of 4 months for over 1,000 months of my salary. Wow, or 100 months of my salary. That's crazy. So they ended up making way more money than what she was making, and it was easier too. And she was making 15% of it. So they inadvertently still kept paying her, and 15% of 100 months was still 15 months. So she ended up making more money off of doing less work, because she would have had to work her ass off for another, like, what was it, like 6 months? But now she's getting paid 15 months. Oh, wait, I did the math even though she already posted the math. That's funny. So they produced 50 videos in the span of 4 months for over 100 months of my salary. And I sat back and collected my healthy 15%, which is about 15 months of my salary. This allowed me to put money aside for the holiday and the rest to further my studies and a respected film school overseas. I thought my plan ended here, and I had gotten back at my former bosses, but to my surprise, I received a call from my colleague while I was on holiday in Bali one day. That sounds like an awesome holiday. This was the same colleague who had face palmed when I told her that my manager had found out that I was a smoker. Okay, here we go. She had told me that the former manager had been fired and my director given a massive blasting by the chancellor of the university. The content creation project, which I was hired for, was only given a budget equating to about a year and a half of my salary. And they had exceeded the budget by over 10 times. Well, yeah, that's what they get for freaking having egos like that. My former manager was so desperate to ensue that her content creation project could be completed that she had thrown caution to the wind, paying anything to get the job done so that she could show my directors that she had completed the project and had approved the massive spend without getting consent from the director. So this is how my friend and a super fast promotion how I got my friend a super fast promotion to a full director in his first production house and a year of pay after getting unfairly fired from my job. That was amazing. Well done. Pro revenge indeed. Comments. People who have never done video editing have no effing clue how labor intensive it is. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. I can't even imagine people who produce CGI. The disrespect that creatives get from people. Yeah. As someone who is a content creator, I respect video editing the most. I mean, because I edit my own videos, but guys, I use like Adobe Premiere, a lot of their like fast service stuff. So like they have services to cut pauses, things like that. I'll add in a few things here and there, but it's very minimal. When it comes to people that I watch on YouTube, that I watch their editing and I can tell, I'm like, wow, they're editors, or whether they're doing it themselves or not, like you can tell they're putting in hella work. Anyways, that was fun. I really like Pro Revenge. And for those of you that really enjoyed this video and you guys want to support the channel and on the Patreon, I'm going to do at least 2 more stories on there. So I'll catch you guys in there if you are a Patreon member. If not, no worries. I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.